He is thy, here is thou. I am back once again delivering your juicy, mouth-watering, mind-melting, sheets-gripping news today. Okay, that's a little too exaggerated. Let me just like reel it back. Hello guys. I know, it's been a while once again. I know, it's just nothing to cover anymore. I'm trying, I'm just scavenging for bullshit at this point. But I finally found something. This morning, on my Twitter timeline, you know, my main off-brand, not my bullshit decoy one I don't use at all. I'll scroll through my timeline, you know, check out the usual shit like in my artists and whatnot. And then I saw a thing about people accusing Rev of being a transphobe and a lolicon. And I'm just like, huh, let me check this shit out. And it alludes back to two videos. A video of someone I don't care about that was 2 months old, and another video of a Nux Taku video calling him the ultimate hypocrite. And that was like 9 months ago, and I'm just like, is this proof or anything? And they're just like, well, the videos are the proof. And I'm like, I can forgive the recent one because that was 2 months ago, but the next video is pretty old. Not to give it anything of discredit. I just want to know, do we have any paper trails or really any evidence? You know? And I'm just like, just out of curiosity, just curious about what the situation. And it's like, well, he's a lolicon, which he did say, and he's a transphobe. And I'm like, okay, but is this bad though? That's literally the whole point of this downhill spiral. I was asking, hypothetically, is this bad though? Because I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. If he's a lolicon, he's a lolicon. I don't care. My off-brand Twitter has a couple of things I like, okay? But at the end of the day, it's just art. It's just fictional characters on the screen as a painting. I don't give a shit about that. I could just cut my Twitter off right now and walk away for the rest of my life. It's just not there. So lolicon shit, I don't care if he admits to it or not. That's just his thing. That's his thing. That's what he likes. I'm not judging him. But the transphobia thing, I'm just kind of like, okay, but do we have any evidence about this though? Is this really confirmed? And the person was just like, he wasn't exactly saying he didn't like trans people or he wasn't being transphobic, but okay, but is there evidence though? Did he say he hates the transgender people? Does he? If it's just nothing but just quote unquote just here and there evidence, there's nothing that the grasp straws at. There's nothing to reach. You're grasping at nothing but the fictional air here. Rev doesn't give a shit. I think that's the whole point of his YouTube persona, that he doesn't give a shit about the internet like that. He's not he said it before in like one video a couple of months ago, saying that when he covers content, he covers it and he's done with it. He makes his video, he gets his views, he gets paid that month, and he washes his hands of all of that shit, and he's done with it, making another video about something else. You think Rev's gonna really give a shit about trans people like that? I mean, and not to discredit trans people, but it's just like, they're nothing special in my book. Personally, they're just any other person. They're just any other person working a 9 to 5, doing their own thing. I'm not putting them on a pedestal just because they came out as such. It's just like, you're just a jobber like anyone else. You're not special to me. You're not. But to say that Rev is transphobic with little to no evidence is once again funny, because it's just like, now I understand how these people feel like for YouTubers like Rev and Hero Hey, or hell, even Nux, or any of the sorts who be in these kind of commentary communities. They get so much shit and they get so much of these ass pull like assumptions and allegations towards them, which again we never confirmed though. That's the thing. Like, do we have I simply asked two things. One, do we have evidence beyond these two videos from two different YouTubers who they themselves are, you know, who their credibility are likely wavering at best, especially fucking Nux Taku. His credibility is shot to the fucking floor. Let's all be honest. Let's all be honest here for 3 minutes. Nux Taku's credibility is shaky at best. He makes good content. Well, granted, he used to make good content. His content is wishy-washy at best. But Are we really gonna trust these two sources of two videos stating an opinion? Do we actually have DMs? Do we actually have witnesses? Do we actually have evidence? Cause just putting up a screenshot of a YouTube video talking about a YouTuber isn't evidence. It's just a video. I can make a 30-hour video saying why Markiplier should stop making content. But is that evidence? Fuck no. It's just me ranting in a mic about some stupid shit. So until we get true evidence of Rev being a transphobe, hell, let alone a lolicon, in which again, why the fuck should it matter? To me, is going to the belief personally. And this is a terrible segue. To me personally, this is going to the belief that if you're not harming anyone, why the fuck will you want to be in their business? Like me, I'm in my Twitter account looking at my favorite off-brand, enjoying shit, liking it, liking my artists, and I don't care. I don't care what they make. I like it anyway. You know, I'm just like, hey, if it's not hurting anyone physically, if their death is not gonna be on my hands, I don't give a goddamn about how they feel about it. Because that person in that argument pulled up my Twitter account and scrolled through all my likes, or just like, oh, I realized that you're just a porn account, and I see what side you're on. I'm just like, what side? I'm talking to you in the calmest way possible. I'm just trying to understand the situation. I'm asking, is there really any more evidence at hand? 2, I'm asking, is this really wrong? Is it wrong for him to have his own opinion? If he's a transphobe, who are we as people to judge him? Who are we? Okay, if he's a lolicon, again, who are we to judge him? Not everyone has to be a conforming American liberal. Not to be political about this. Not everyone has to welcome everybody. Everyone's fucking different. Sure, I may be the latter and I welcome just about anybody, but Red doesn't have to. He's a YouTuber first and foremost. He lives his life his own way. And then the lambast him because he's not jerking off the usuals it's kind of sad, because it's telling people that you have to conform or get crushed because God forbid you have an opinion, you have your own thought, you exist outside of the usual spectrum of the usual shit crack canopy that we live in nowadays. And I'm not trying to be hateful about this. I think the moral of this whole argument is just Rev should be left alone. Simple as that. If he's entitled to what he likes, he's entitled to his opinion, and if that's what he is, if it's even true to begin with, why the fuck do we care? Why do we care? Again, why do we care? I mean, I'm not bringing up Shad, man. That's too much. I'm just saying, he's entitled to what he lives. That's his life. No one should have their life changed just because someone's a little butthurt about their content creator. What happened to the whole the simple phrasing of don't like it, don't watch it? Why are you going on a tirade about it? Why is there people supporting these ideals of bullshit? It's like, this is just a falsehood of a falsehood. You're supporting someone who's being dumb on the internet. It's like, oh my god, Rev said there's a lolicon and a transphobe, and there's no evidence because Rev said it in video, whether it was jokingly or offhandedly, and only 2 YouTubers, one of their YouTubers' credibility being unreliable at best and shaky at worst. God, let's hope we cancel Rev. It's like God's sakes, guys. Can we find better hobbies nowadays? Can we? Or is that just not possible anymore? And I'm just talking out my asshole for a little bit. I think the only thing I saw that was just as equally worse was the recent Azure Lane thing. Granted, I didn't play Azure Lane. I think I played it once 2-3 months ago, and it wasn't my cup of tea. But to have people like get mad at that new live 2D figure for having too much sex appeal, I generally thought that was kind of funny, because it's just like, oh my god, this anime girl with a fat rack and yummy thighs is being sexualized. And I realized, oh shit, I forgot this is 2023. I forgot we're in the era of characters can't be sexy. Fictional characters are not allowed to be hot anymore. They all have to look fucking ugly. They all have to look like roadkill. They all have to look so unattractively undesirable because people cannot stop comparing themselves to fictional characters. And that's what's pathetic about that. That's why I hate so much about it. About people nowadays. Because when I watch anime, you know, let's say I watch Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I'm not trying to compare myself to Emiya Archer, the red, you know, Emiya of Red. I'm not trying to compare myself to him and be like, oh my god, I like his tan skin and white hair, I like his muscles and his slim figure. I'm not. I'm just like, anime go burr. Anime's funny. I'm not watching School Days and be like, man, Makoto Ito, I like how he just gets game all the time. He just slays women. I wish I was like that. No, because I don't compare myself to a fictional character, which is, I think, is the main problem of these arguments going on with this 2D figure. Is that the fact that people are trying to compare themselves. They're overcompensating for some reason. Because it's not that. It's the freaking, oh, I'm 1/6 of a Japanese man. I think this shit's disgusting. And I'm like, have you not been in Japan? Japan is cool with this shit. You know, Japan, the land of the rising sun, the best, debatably the best country in this fucking world right now. No, they have more creative freedom than the land of the fucking free, and that is a goddamn embarrassment. Because they can make shit knowing that no one will probably throw a fucking pipe bomb in their mailbox because of it. And I think that's the problem with the Western lore here, is that people have become so far deluded with themselves that they just believe this shit that they're saying. Like, let's go hate different countries' cultures and shit because it's not what the Americans like. Even though America used to be just as bad as anyone else, but nowadays everyone's become so pathetically sensitive and so pearl-clutchingly tight about their shit that any creative liberties is just met with a swift stomp of the sole of someone's shoe. Man, you want to have a hot female character in a video game or anime? Can't have that. Just not possible. Everyone gotta look there fucking like Punch Clay. Everyone has to look so realistically ugly that it will make people not want to buy this fucking game. Because how dare you try to escape realism? How dare you try to escape the woes and the bothersome, worrisome world that you live in, especially if you're an American. God forbid if you're one of those. I should know. How dare you try to have fun with your product? Because last I checked, every video game character who's fictional doesn't deserve to be attractive or anything. They deserve to look like they're Punch Clay. They deserve to look like they just got shot and put in a furnace. They're fucking Freddy Krueger. They should look like Leatherface without his mask. They should look like fucking. They should look like fucking. They should look like the fucking, what was his name, Bruno from the Goonie Kids, the Goonies. They should like that they're from The Hill Have Eyes. No one should be attractive because people saying that. Because people think that the sexualization or even having somewhat of sex appeal is what kills the people of the youth today. And it's just like, it's a little sex appeal. A little bit. What's wrong with sex appeal? I remember back in the day, sex used to sell like hotcakes. You throw on someone in a skimpy outfit and you could probably make millions of dollars off that bitch. Nowadays, it's just like, yeah, you know the deal. If it ain't covering the agendas like of new, like the goddamn New Testaments, then you're just not getting anything. Where had this world fallen to? I mean, particularly in America, since I am American, it's just kind of like, what happened to this world, man? What happened back to like the mid to late 2000s, where the world was simple, where YouTube, you could watch all the lesbian porn you want? Those were some weird days. And people didn't really give a shit about your opinions. You had an opinion, you stated it, and no one was threatening your life with a swatting or a dox. No one cared. You just had an opinion. What happened to those old days where everything was just refined? It was edgy. It was cool, but it wasn't like DeviantArt, you know, Cold Steel the Hedgehog edgy. But it was just like, you could say what you want and no one was threatening your life or an opinion or threatening companies, which is kind of funny. Going back to the whole Asher Lane thing, the fact that the CEO is a woman and people are shitting their pants because they misgender her as a man. They thought that, oh man, horny anime game with big titties and a big thigh on a woman, it's clearly a guy and it's a woman. It's like, oh shit, I have made a continuous and severe lapse in my judgment. And it's like, nah, you didn't though. You really shit the bed with this one. I am embarrassed, which is kind of funny because I think that's like the second woman I've seen in a high power when it comes to like games and shit. I haven't seen that since like the Bayonetta creator, and I'm like, oh my god, she's kind of cute though, like dead ass. Like I would like that chick from that the AT&T commercial, or was like the Verizon commercial. Her name Sam, what the fuck her name was. That's not important. The point is, it's just kind of funny how people can be so hive mind with this mob mentality and how stupid it really is to a degree. The moral of the story of this video is, episode 1, part 1 of this video. Rev said Desu should be left alone. He's a man with his own opinions, and we shouldn't give a shit of what he likes, because at the end of the day, fuck you, fuck your opinions. If he's not hurting anyone, why the hell do you care? And story 2, let the Japanese make their things, because they clearly know how to fucking make things now. Because clearly every other country can make something and is good compared to American products, which they're always shallow, hollow, and unapologetically knee deep in politics that you could have swore you was watching a goddamn political channel on YouTube. I have been your lovely host with the most, and until next time, I bid you adieu.